Discord. You know that, right?
I thought you said you only do it for business, but you would make an exception.
Wait, what are you guys watching?
The next debate. The next presidential debate.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, outside of the presidential debate, probably
When is it?
That's not this.
Trump gonna watch that for it. Trump gonna watch it.
I thought it was like in September 10th or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a little while.
Yo, Nate.
Okay. Wait, when's the next debate?
Yo, I got a question for you, bro.
When's the next
I think
debate?
it's September. I'll Google it.
Yeah, I think it's September 10th. I'm not sure. Something like that. Yo, so I did a little life experience this weekend. It was my birthday and all that. And, like, I had a couple...
Yo, what's up, Jacob? What's up,
Happy belated. You a fan from Jacobus?
Yeah,
I miss you, Jacobus. No Diddy, nigga. Where you been at, man?
I love all
That's
y'all.
what they got.
I gotta bring this out to y'all because I don't know. It's interesting to me for some reason. So I fuck with the whole idea of a high value man. Like I think that's been in the psyche of women for a long time, even back in the fucking Pilgrim days, right? So now I'm looking at the Disney movies, and I'm like, the high value man been in there from Beauty and the Beast all the way to Cinderella, and the only example I could find where like the bitch ain't fuck with a high value man was like Pocahontas. And that shit's weird to me. It's like, yo, even Beauty and the Beast, even the Beast was a high value beast. Like, and the only thing that was like kind of compared to him was like a nigga with fame. And when you look at like Pocahontas, that nigga John Smith was a nigga for fame. He wasn't no high value man. So is that shit really saying like a nigga who's not a high value man only deserves like a primitive woman who may see herself as a queen in her younger society type shit?
At them times, John Smith probably was a high value man.
That's what I'm about to say. I believe he was high value, bro.
If they send you to be an explorer and you wear raccoon hats, you're not a high value man.
Jacobus, I heard what you said, and I just...
Lion, what's good, my nigga?
Hey, what's going on?
Don't fucking dig it,
I heard what you said, Jacobus, and there is an actual answer to that. I was just talking to this other truck driver a couple of nights ago when I was in South Carolina, and I came to the conclusion that a man, you can tell the credit system of a man by how good his woman look. Think about it. A man can only get what he can get, right?
I don't know, bro.
So, look, let me put it like this. If your woman is busted, and all the niggas around you clearly know that she busted, we can all tell that you got bad credit of our wives. They got diabolical. We can all tell that you, because mostly men want to go. We are visually attracted to women, right? Essentially, we are all like attracted to a woman's aesthetics. So if I can look at your woman and go, yeah, we all jealous of you, bro. Yeah, man, look at you. You doing it. That tells me that you got a credit score somewhere around maybe 300-400. I understand.
Your PTR, so what would the person in your PTR want?
I already got someone to say.
My PTR represents the black dude from My Name is Earl. You remember that show, My Name is Earl, the black dude on there?
Yeah.
What's up, Greasy?
Yeah, but what that's like a...
Thank you, Nathan. You came in the clutch because I was about to get fucked up.
He had a credit score. You can look at him and tell he had a dilapidated credit score. And that's the reason why he can only get that kind of woman. Remember, women are hypergamous. So he's going after the best. But she's trying to go after the best. And she can only get you. The only reason she can get you is because of me.
I want to ask a question. Are women trained to be hypergamous, or is it innate?
It's innate. It's nature.
I was about to say, I was like, man, who's training these women like
That's
dogs?
nature.
Like that.
I don't think it's. I think it's trained. I think the moms do it. I'm just saying it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I would say like this would be like our society evolving to the point where we don't want our children to suffer, right? If you are a father and a mother, you don't want your daughter to suffer by getting with somebody that's just gonna load her down with a bunch of kids.
Wait. Why?
How is that suffering?
Yeah,
that's
because she has no way of taking care of kids. She has no way of taking care of
I have a question. Why would the women suffer just partnering up, pairing up outside of their kids? Why would that even happen to the female women or child, whatever you call it?
I think it's the reality of life. Anybody, if you're a man or woman, goes out to the world, it's never just that you go and work inside of a relationship. No one's going to have that easy for his life by himself.
But why specifically?
Yeah, I know, I'm about to answer that. I'm trying to answer that. But like, when someone does get with someone, they're going to go through trouble too. It's just, we live in a society where you think it's supposed to be easy for someone supposed to come in and take away all your trouble. And you're supposed to be living like a queen or a king. But that's not how reality is. It never showed you.
So my question is, the fuck are they doing? Oh, it's a buzz. Why specifically is we consider people that are of the female gender to be we need to allocate for them more? What is that about? We should maybe allocate for the male children more. Why do we allocate for the female children more?
As a man, like say like my kids, right? I feel safe. No, if I throw my sons out into the world, I know they're gonna come back whole. They're gonna come back with something in their hand. But if I send my daughter out there, I cannot say I love her in the same manner if I do that to her. She may not even come back whole mentally or even physically. So at the end of the day, a man, if he loves his daughter, he prepares for her to be safe when he's not around.
So again, why do we allocate for the female gender?
I think you're mumbling. It's called advocate. Advocate.
I thought he said
Can you spell it?
ADVOCATE. Advocate.
Wants to talk about allocations.
Oh, this ain't an asset management course, sweetheart.
Both of them apply.
Is that a man?
Are you trying to rebalance your portfolio and diversify?
I can't even see my fucking phone right now. I'm driving. But yeah, advocate, allocate. Why do we do these things?
because the female is the weaker gender. I try to be poetic and tell you we love our daughters and shit, but you ain't want to hear that.
No, because sometimes it just seems weird that there is this.
What are you, Ion, trying to fix people's lives? Ain't nothing weird about that.
My bad. I gotta be quiet because.
Yeah, that's all right. You driving, we sitting in our offices sipping coffee.
Yo, Tiff, you know some bitches?
I know if I had a hot-ass daughter, I wouldn't send her out to the motherfucking wolves.
I respect that. You see? Even a nigga in that type of spectrum understands what the fuck I was saying. So these
You
women
got a
know.
hot-ass daughter. What
So
the
these
fuck
women
you mean
know.
your
They
daughter?
can't do what you call consent and acting like they don't understand.
Listen, this is what typically happens with a nigga that ain't got no daddy.
I wouldn't even go that far.
Yo, y'all crazy, man. Yeah, this shit is wild. Yo, this shit is wild. I'm gonna work in the background.
Nigga who ain't got
Nigga
a
said he
daddy.
got a hot ass daughter. That's crazy.
Nah, think about what he's saying. If you got an ugly ass daughter, you ain't gotta worry about
better be a lawyer. She better be a doctor. Like, you feel safe around her. Nobody's going to do nothing to her. Nobody's going to want her. She's going to be the best in class. She better be the smartest. She's going to have no choice but to stand out.
I think like the weirdness of it.
That's a fact.
Like when you have, I think the weirdness of it is when you have children, you should just be worried about them, educational. You know, worried about their education and X, Y, Z.
They're well.
Not worried about whether they're hot or not. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure that they're set up for the fucking world. Like saying that they're ugly or they're good looking shouldn't fucking matter. Like
you know
I
what
think that's the problem with
You know what I
society.
mean?
It's like
When
thinking
you have
about your
kids,
kids
right?
sexually. Is
Alright, that's cool.
But look, when you have kids, right, you able to look at them and say, yo, I want the best for my children. And sometimes during the win, you get a glimpse of reality of like, yo, who is my child in the real world? And if you're not honest with
Lethal line, I want to say that.
hold on real quick. If you're not honest
Are
with
you
yourself,
trying to make an
Can I tell
excuse
you
for
what
you
I'm saying
to say
real
that you have a
Go
hot
ahead,
ass?
one nigga ain't got no
if
business.
I can finish, look, when you like look at your child with truth, you're able to see who they are in the real society. Now, if you have an ugly child and you treat them like they beautiful, you making them delusional. That's even worse if it's a daughter.
Yet some of these bitches got pretty privilege.
Hold on real quick, bro.
That-
You gotta hold on real quick.
I'm lying though. Wait, say answer lying.
You can say your point. Just let me finish, bro. Yeah. What I'm saying is like when she get inside the world, she gonna be telling the world, yeah, my daddy told me I was beautiful. You better treat me as such. But daddy never told me, yo, baby, you're not the hot shit. You the queen of my world, but not in the real world. So go get a mansion, be a lawyer, be something special. That's the truth.
I disagree with that.
Hold on, some man gonna have to tell you.
I disagree with that as well.
Look, real quick. Some niggas can look at their wives and say, hey, you look good in that dress, and she don't. Because these men are liars.
That part I agree with. You niggas gotta stop with your lying. You're the real reason why all of these problems are happening in society. You're the creator of the feminist movement, to be honest.
I think that the issue line is that we can agree to disagree. Like I can understand. I can understand that line that's you and Jacobus's point of view. That's how you look at y'all's children. But if I was to look at my children, I wouldn't think of them sexually to where they're attractive.
Ain't nobody thinking of this shit.
And I'm
saying sex.
yeah, but his exact going back to what Tiffany said, it was like my hot ass daughter. That is like
Nigga, I said if I had a hot ass daughter.
There's somebody, sir.
I said if I had a hot ass daughter.
Wait. I think they're trying to take it down. He said, what's it called?
Hey, no, look. I got 5 kids. All right, so I got the really, really smart one, extremely smart one, and then I got one that ain't so smart. He act like he can't hear shit. He act like he don't have no problem. He just does his own thing. He
act like his daddy.
Wait, Lion, are any of your children hot?
Oh.
What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Well, let me put it like this.
No, he got a smart kid and a dumb kid. You just hear nothing about being hot. He got a dumb kid.
I'll say this. Listen, I'm not gonna say the word hot, but I can tell you this because they come from me and my wife.
They got it from a
They not gonna have no problems attracting anybody except for the one that don't want to fucking work. He's gonna have a problem for sure.
But see, Lion, I understand that, right? I understand where you and Jacobus are coming from when you're talking about like the looks of your kids and X, Y, and Z. But the specific wording that Tiffany used was my
If no dummy, I said if.
It's still weird.
I said if. You creating a problem, and that was 10 minutes ago. It's over. There's nothing even to fucking criticize me about, dummy.
John, why are you playing? Nigga, that's you?
Nigga, I do what I wants to do. Don't you tell me how don't you police me, you Ungawa motherfucking Iriboo?
Come on, man.
American Iriboo? You a motherfucking American. You ain't no Iriboo.
I used to look up to you, John. What the fuck is going on?
Nigga, I never looked up to you.
Well, that's fine. I'm looking up to you.
Oh.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm behooved because I didn't know our children could be hot. Like, what the fuck? Like, that was.
If you got a handsome son or daughter, you know that
You must say never seen that nigga. Yo, I hate y'all right now. Like, what the fuck are we? This is atheism.
Yo, the one. Also say that. But I think what people mean when he said that he has one daughter, I think he meant like his daughter wants to get into like, let's say the entertainment business. He would not have any problem like leading a lead role or star or something like that. And in all actuality, that's valuable. You know how many people say that make money off of their kids? You know?
Yeah, they take them to Hollywood.
Yeah, but I mean, there's ways. For instance, my baby sister. What I say is, because she's beautiful, I say she won the genetic lottery. You say shit like that, right? Like she won the genetic lottery. She could be.
Like, all the women in my family. But it means the same thing, though. Basically, they're all saying the same thing. All the women in my family are fine. I don't have a single ugly woman. That's light skin privilege. That's light skin privilege. And I'm not. Listen. If any nigga in a right mind,
Just remember it's on a light skin scale, Nathan.
Because I tell you this, a lot of light skin people, if they had a darker skin, I'm telling you, man, they would not make it. No, we got beautiful.
Hey, that's a fact.
We got the cheekbone thing. We got the straight nose thing too, huh? Yeah, you got long white features. You see this?
Definitely got the straight nose thing. You see this white skin ass on camera. You know how lying looks.
Because of their complexion. I'm not gonna hold
Even if I was dark skinned and the family was dark skinned, we still got the beautiful features. That doesn't change anything. What's the dark skin features?
Wait, hold on.
The bell pepper nose?
That's a fact.
All dark skinned people don't have bell pepper noses.
Bell pepper.
Why your nose is beautiful to you then?
Why ain't you a color supremacist? I can't stand you color supremacists.
All I just said was the bell pepper nose isn't just a don't put the bell pepper nose on me.
It's not a
Oh, so now you're a feature supremacist. That's what you sounded like.
I am a
feature supremacist of a black man.
There ain't no such thing as a bell pepper nose. It don't exist. There's no such thing as a bell pepper nose. You guys are being culturally conditioned for your own stupidity and racism.
I think that's a bell pepper nose. Yeah, I got a black man nose. Everything about me looks like a black man.
No, nigga, you got a nose which is genetically and evolutionarily composed for breathing air at a high rate of speed.
Listen, bro, when we used to walk, they say, know this. Make a path for us.
Somebody's actual real voice.
Hey, that's why when I play football, they put me at the nose guard, huh?
Yo, Nathan, you can look at KRS-One. That nigga got
he got a sauce. That boy got
but now
look,
like Nathan, think
You
about
know he can breathe like a real black man.
like Nathan. You never seen a pretty boy or a girl win a pageant with a bell pepper nose. Because there's certain features in society that's not being beautiful.
Nah, that's not true. That's not true, bro.
Talk to Dr. Umar. Ask Dr. Umar. He got a big bell pepper nose.
Take a large majority. Nah, Dr. Umar don't have no bell pepper nose. Wait, have you ever seen? Has anybody ever seen somebody whose nose pretty much takes up the large majority of their face?
That's a bell pepper nose.
Well, I will say this.
Me?
A lot of beauty.
That's a real black American line.
There's
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying a lot of beauty goes into the symmetry that lies on somebody's face. It's like a golden ratio calculator. That's usually how they determine how beautiful you are. I don't know.
It's called supersymmetry, mother. It's called supersymmetry.
What you call it? Quantification of beauty. It's just European based, man. Oh, we gotta look at symmetry.
I think that some people are not symmetrical and they ugly as fuck. So like I think that I don't know that over here that people look at people with certain features as they are beautiful. You know they are.
Beauty terminates in itself, and beauty is symmetrical.
So we're half the time.
All right. So, have you ever seen somebody who was cockeyed, right? That's not beautiful.
Now I tell you this now. What you call it? Certain there's more features. I consider that being not beautiful.
What about the personality?
People don't have control over their beauty, right? So when I see like a person who has like all normal features, right? They're not clean up themselves. They're not dirty or anything like that. I don't look at people like that. They're not like obese. I don't look at people like that as ugly. I don't think they're ugly. But like, let's say there's those people with those watermelon heads. Let's say there's those people with those like weird facial features, but they have like a big lip, big chin, and all that. Now those are ugly. That's the only people that I can say.
You just called half your motherfucking audience ugly, nigga. What the fuck? Consider your audience.
Hold on, is this
I would venture to say that there's more than half the audience. But that's just me.
But you guys know what I'm talking about, man. Like, and you see them in like school, they like in like special classes because
That's called Down syndrome, Nathan. They got schools for people like that.
Let me throw this at him real quick. Yo, Nathan, I'm listening to exactly what you're saying, but I think that's a conflation. I think it's like, look, real quick. I think you could look at someone and say, as a man, you can separate your feelings and your thoughts, and you can say, you know what, this person is beautiful off jump. But then when you focus in on them, like you said, you can see their big chin, you can see their big nose. Is when you pay attention to their ugly, you could deem them ugly. But as a man, you can ignore what makes a woman physically beautiful and say, I like the character.
Man, yeah, there you go. Now you getting to it.
I mean, but I think that's a man's gift. What you're doing is a man's gift. Now, whether men are more mature enough to exemplify that gift, that's a different story.
Characters all that matters.
Like people, that's like, I don't know what you call those like type of stuff, man. You see them, you see them like on like Instagram and all this other stuff, and like people who live in like different places. Right, it's rare that you find them in America. But those are people I consider like ugly. Yes, they don't be.
Pygmy.
One of those things, like everybody does not fall like
Neanderthal.
the good part of the genetic lottery, and then that is no fault of their own or anything like that. And they
But they still ate too much Pizza Hut.
Okay, can you fix your voice? Because this has got to be a joke. But
He's a troll. Don't worry about it.
No, that's just how he is.
yeah,
You see, personality and character and virtue, that's what counts. It's not about your pygmy chin or your pepper nose.
See, look, this is my.
It's what you are in the inside that counts. I don't know how you can't love a bell pepper. Man, I fucking love my shit, bro. What
All right,
the fuck?
this is my.
It's not supposed to be a storage center.
Look, hold on. PTR. This is my next. My brother that's closest to my age.
He looks like Bum J. All of y'all look like Bum J. I just noticed that.
He looks biracial.
That was him in New Orleans. Wait,
Is he biracial?
no, stupid.
Well, why would you put a picture of your brother up, but not your own bell pepper nose? We want to see how many inches is your bell pepper nose?
What the fuck is wrong with this man?
Oh my gosh. He looks more like Terrence Howard.
That's lying, bro. That's lying. That dude look Chinese, bro.
I told yo, Nathan.
Yo, hey, listen, bro. I knew a guy. That's a liar. I knew a guy, bro. Bro, he used to rap. I knew him, bro. That was my dude from North Carolina, bro. He was half Asian, half Chinese, and half black. He was acting like it, brother, bro. Exactly.
Lying, you gotta check, bro. You gotta check, bro. I think you got some Asian, bro. You and your line, bro.
Sweet. Look at the cheeky eyes too, bro.
Yeah, man. Or at least some poison. Maybe some
Don't tell me that dude. How that dude ain't light skin? He is light skin, bro.
All right, and this one is me and lady. PTR.
oh, y'all cute, whatever. Y'all cute.
Lion say he is a light skin.
Yeah.
Yo, Lion, where you be at, bro?
Some good looking people.
Hey, just to show how light skinned Lion is, he got on a light.
Look at the eyes.
Yeah. Lion spent some time in Korea.
When you get your beard growing, bro. Get that beard to grow.
He ain't gonna have no chance to get that beard to grow.
Hey, this is our father right here. Hold on.
Lion got that beige rage.
This is our father right here. PTR.
Beige
That's why he's so mad now. Some dark skinned.
Oh, this man is kidding.
Yeah, he was mixed too.
Oh my goodness. You talking about a mulatto. That's one right there.
That is one of them. And he was a tether.
Nah, I'll show you. I'll show y'all my real father. He old man.
Well, shit, we all
You
old.
got a baby face. I'm over there aging like,
Well, you know we black. We don't age like dirt. Like, come on, man.
Aging like fine wine.
Breezy, get some water, Breezy.
I got my water.
She's rethinking my life right now.
She need to hydrate.
Like, you better leave them.
Oh, hey,
them
First of
white
all,
people alone.
I would have you to know, Lady Lion
Leave the married men alone.
literally taught me how to make lavender tea. So,
Stop trying to get close to Lion, Breezy.
She ain't trying to stop it. That's not what she's trying to.
I know, we just fucking with it.
But here the thing. She could if Breezy was she, I definitely got some side niggas for him. That ain't on that bullshit like the rest of these niggas on here.
no, I got me a husband. Cool.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I don't need no help.
No, they not.
Bro, just glad I was just in the room, bro, earlier
I
today.
God for his mother and his father, okay?
Music be helping all those guys. Hey, man. She's like, no way, she ain't married, me. She ain't married. I'm like,
Oh,
what?
they be upset. They be upset.
Bro,
Listen, that was just.
I was there.
I get cussed out all the time. So you married now? I'm like, yeah, I can't just live. You married? My wife would never be on this app.
This is my heart. That's my blood. And his like on this PTR letter.
They was like, yo,
Yo, you know what I learned about that phrase to make an honest woman out of her?
what's up?
That come from like niggas shacking up. So in order to give her respect and honor, the nigga would marry her instead of just living with the bitch.
Exactly. They would give her a name, bro.
An honest woman literally kind of lends to like, this woman is not a virgin, and I'm going to marry her. That's not.
Give her my last name. You're not just gonna use her for sex.
Right, exactly.
So that applies to like the women.
You can't be disrespected and all of that no more. You gotta show the respect, or somebody gonna come kill you.
I just want to say this though. Look, listen, earlier today, right? The guy asked me, he's like, "You married?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Would you be inside the bed arguing with someone online while your wife is still in the bed?" I said, "No." Then they cut me off. I was like, "What?" I wanted to talk about my boy, man. That one night, you know what I'm talking about. Knowledge when he was going at what's her name? It's like, "You're not married." And I was like, "Watch this."
I don't know what it is about being married.
Oh my God.
I think that people think that married people don't know.
Was that American chick or whatever? The actress. It was an actress.
I've never known.
Wait, I gotta interrupt. I just measured my nose. It's 1.5 inches in width. Who here got a bell pepper nose bigger than that?
Look at Joe. Look at Joe. If you put Joe and KRS-One together, it might create a black hole, bro. Just saying.
KRS-One got a nose out this world.
Wait. Hold on. I'm about to fangirl out. Look, Gareth, you next to Lakeith.
LeGareth, how you doing, young man?
You next to Lakeith.
The point is character, virtue. And you can't develop a personality of character and virtue if you don't have any experience. So you get yourself a bell pepper nosed man today and make love to that man and tell him you love him and trust in that bell pepper nose. The bell pepper nose will set you free.
Why does he keep doing this?
I'm telling you, bell pepper. That's the new trend, man. It's gonna take over. It's gonna take over.
You ever put bell peppers on your pizza?
Something right. I don't like
Y'all
it.
do all the time.
Bell peppers on pizza. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the hell does he
Oh,
sound
green
like
pepper,
that?
yeah,
What
green
kind
bell
of
pepper.
weirdo are you, Ryan?
Green bell peppers, onions, and
The type
sausage.
of person who likes to put peppers on his pizza. Well, what do you mean?
Oh, really?
Do you think men with bell pepper noses have a higher preponderance of bigger boogers?
He's not even.
I think you got easier access to
I mean, but can you please not do that with your voice? I can't.
When you have bigger nostrils.
Stop voice policing me. I will talk about my bell pepper nose however I goddamn well please, woman.
Some white jokes.
You got a thinner nose. You got a thinner nose.
Wait a second. Do you have a job?
Probabilistically proven. Factually proven. We've done the science. We've picked boogers out of the noses of thin-nosed people and bigger bell pepper nosed people. And we have found, without a shadow of a doubt, the boogers are definitely bigger.
You know what's so crazy? You know what else we found intelligible? We're actually doing real science. It's funny that white people are actually the ones who look like monkeys. White people are actually the ones who have monkey lips. If you want a PTR, you can see what we're talking about. So it's very interesting. You know,
They never say that black people look like monkeys because of the lips.
yeah, that's
Black
what
people
I'm
look DSLs.
Let's actually look at real
If you're
monkey
mixed
lips
with
and
white,
let's
you're
see
sure.
who has a
Because
monkey
there's
lips.
a lot of people
PTR.
that eat fuzz.
PTR.
Breezy got
PTR
big
real quick.
boogers.
You will see true monkey lips. This is what monkey lips.
Yeah, Ron Perlman is one ugly son of a bitch.
Well, all I'm gonna say is this: like when we mix in our DNA and everything,
Go blow your nose, Breezy.
some people when they have mixed DNA, they got a peach fuzz on them.
But we all have mixed DNA. You have mixed DNA. I do. We all have mixed DNA.
I do.
No, man, my bloodline is pure, dog. Pure and uninterrupted.
Well, it's not my flag. That's the flag of my wife. But I'm an American.
God bless you. Vote Trump.
Ha ha ha. You wish. Nah, but that's the flag of Martinique. My wife is from the island of Martinique.
Bro, I heard that country itself, no disrespect, they were known for cooning a lot, bro.
Well, they're on some Pan-African shit. But my wife, she's born there, but she's raised in Paris, France. She's from Paris, so she's
a fancy one.
But she's not Martinican by nationality. But what I was gonna say was before. No, I met her here in New York because I was a loopy nigga in the streets. But
Oh,
what I was
shit.
gonna say was that before, we get into the politics of DNA and the whites and this, we all got.
You met your wife on a drug deal in the streets?
Yes, we do. Well, if you think you don't, then you probably didn't do your lineage check yet.
Oh, shit. Here we go again. Bell pepper blood.
African?
Where is
A lot of Africans, a lot of African niggas got American DNA in them because during the slave trade, a lot of Americans were taken from Americans sent to Africa. So you don't know. You might actually be American thinking you're Yoruba.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Hold on.
Hey, look it up. Just do your research.
No, Bob, you are right. Bob, you are right.
If you're gonna say the name, you gotta say the entire name.
Okay, Bob B, goddammit.
No, it's more to it than that.
Oh my God, bro. Why do you think Paul's lying? Yo, come on.
I have a series
Alright, so before you
I don't care, man. I'm listening to Drake after this.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like Leon in French, they say your name is Leon.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I have a series of questions.
A series of questions, motherfucker. This ain't Discovery Communications.
That I'd already made a statement in here about.
Can we limit them to 3?
Okay, that's fine. We can actually limit them to 2.
Copy
Number 1. All right. So, your wife, you said that she speaks multiple languages, right?
Facts.
All right. So I'm assuming that you must have a decent credit score.
Well, I was living in France for the last 7 years, so I didn't have any credit because I wasn't in America. But now that I just came back since February, my credit went from 0 to 670. Yeah, I was building it up because I'm building, a new life back here in America.
That's what it is right now?
Yeah.
Just for the fact that him ain't supposed to go to France and do all that stuff.
How old are you? If you don't mind, you're in your 20s, 30s?
But Leon, like you were saying before you was really interrupted.
Right, so just for the fact that you're able to go to France and do all that other extra stuff, it also would say you might be financially stable or well off.
No, I'm from New York. You got to get money or die over here.
Right. So that we get back to my original. See, I was sharing something with the room that leads to my point, and thank you for being able to show that. What I said to the room is this: you can tell basically the credit score or the finances of the man by the woman that he has. The level, if she looks good and all of that other stuff. And you just pretty much proved that. The woman that you got, she's got some skills, she can speak multiple languages, she's bad, she's gorgeous. Right, so that would mean that you're financially stable because a man can only get what he can get. Right? And
that's not true, bro.
Look at my PTR. Look at my PTR right now. This is a man you can look at and tell that he has a very low credit score.
Yeah, he don't got choice.
Man, are you trying to pull a Dr. Credit Fixing scam or something? We know that a woman gotta eat, a girl gotta eat, and pussy's expensive. Line, you ain't got no point, son.
He has very limited
raw in the gut of a biggin.
Right.
My husband is a sweet Billy, and he got me, and I love him.
Breezy, you don't love your husband, otherwise you wouldn't be on a social fucking chat app showing your feet running your mouth.
That's a good point.
They turn you on. Anyway.
Go ahead, text me a picture of your feet for $10. We'll see how much you love your husband then.
You just shut the fuck
Stop.
I feel like it
was transactional. That's crazy. I'm not trying to instigate. I'm just
You don't talk like that to married women.
Lines like, oh, if you ain't got a credit score, you ain't getting pussy. Duh. No shit, motherfucker. You ain't got money. When did any man ever get good pussy? When? Tell me. Never. So you got no motherfucking point. He just lying and running his mouth to get his dopamine feedback loop. You need to go to the gym, lying.
I mean, no, I'm not even gonna hold you though. Agree. A good credit score allows you to use other people's money, and it's wonderful to be able to use other people's money and not your own.
Oh boy. Well, the reason why I bring that up, so the man brings his resources. That's his attraction. The man brings his resources. The woman brings her,
No, the man brings a positive attitude on top of it all, lying.
Oh God. It doesn't really matter the man's attitude. That's one host that, like, look at Donald Trump.
Lion, you sound so old school, bro. You got to think about the day of these ages, bro. No, that's not necessarily true. So they got women saying to Lion right now. Women are entering into their career, and they are like, I'm talking about.
But what do they want?
Working, and they have the man at home. They're taking on the job, and making about 6 figures and more, and they have the man at home.
I understand that that's your current situation.
Most people don't.
Why can't you just listen, bro?
That's not the case, though.
Please, can I just finish, bro?
Go
like
ahead.
I said, you have an old school mentality, bro. Yeah, you
believe like how it was in the 70s and in the 60s when a man would go there, work all day, come home, his wife would prepare and all that stuff, and that was his life's career, which was just to be the make of the house, to take care of the house. I'm saying nowadays, right? Believe it or not, Ryan,
We talking about
the way it's going. Yeah, the way it's going right now, bro. The relationships function when one person pays the bills and the next person prepares the house. And a lot of times now, bro, you're finding women paying the bills, right, because of the feminist movement, and the man, they don't take care of the house.
Then that's no relationship. Breezy, I got
No, that's not true. That's still a relationship.
Hold on. What I'm finding now is like literally these men want women to do both roles.
Come on,
They want them to take
Breezy,
care
you're
of the
being
house.
dishonest.
All right, hold on.
I
I don't want to argue
finish
with
my
that.
statement. They
Go ahead,
want women to be homemakers. Susie Homemaker, or whatever the fuck it's called. Holly Homemaker.
Ain't nobody
And
want you to run a
also-
pizza restaurant and bake pizzas at home. Sorry, ladies.
All right, Tim. Hey,
Yeah, Tiffany sounds like a man.
it is the man. It's John.
Okay, yeah, because I just want to finish my statement. So, like, and this is just what I hear. I don't think it actually happens in the real world. I don't know who would go for that. But, like, literally, they want them to work. They want them to be modern and traditional at the same fucking damn time. And it's like,
And take care of the kids.
So those
oh,
relationships,
yeah,
they don't work.
Is that what your man wants, Breezy?
Like, those. Wait, let's not personalize it. Let's not personalize
No,
it.
I'm
Don't
asking. The reason I ask that is because if he doesn't want that, then there are other men like him out there. So he can't just say that.
Talk to Nathan, because he's a stay-at-home dad now.
Let me respond back to Nathan now. Nathan, what you're talking about are relationships that are temporary. They don't last very long because ultimately, in the end, women still want the same traditional roles that women have always wanted from the men. What other reason does the man play in all society since the beginning of time? He is to work and provide resources to his family or growing family. Therefore, that will never change. Even when a woman gets a high-paying job and all of that other stuff, guess what usually happens to that guy that's doing less than her? She usually finds a way to get rid of him because she is always naturally hypergamous. She wants better than herself.
That's because she's not a Christian and doesn't love Jesus.
She always wants somebody that's stronger, more capable, more able to handle everything. She doesn't. The woman isn't built for stress.
Essentially a leader.
Right.
Let me respond. So, Lion,
obviously.
So, Lion, here's what I'm going to disagree. I'm going to agree with you and disagree. Yes, in the past, right, when they didn't have, like, technology, the tools would be used to get jobs done. Yeah, it required a bunch of manual labor. Work required a bunch of manual labor. But now, we live in this era where it's like we have technology, where labor like that isn't required to make money. You can make money with your mind. And women took advantage of that. A lot of women are taking advantage of that. And they do look for something within a man. What they do look for is a man that's tall, a man that's able to be honest with them, right? And a man that has some at least house skills. That way he
Don't forget intelligence, knowledge, and understanding.
And at least smart as well too. And I just want to end on this. So what they do is they get men out there, right? What they consider good looking or something like that, or dudes who have like some looks. They would make babies with these dudes, right? And teach these dudes how to be men. And it's crazy enough you trolling right now.
Sorry, Nathan, a woman can never teach a man how to be a man. A man can only teach other men how to be a man. And God, Ungawa, on God, the wisdom of God is what tells a man how to be a man, not some woe man while she making her $120,000 while you cleaning the kitchen.
What you guys thinking about is, you only thinking about high-profile men, right? And these high-profile men looking for women to be homemakers, right? But these women are high-profile women, and they're looking for men to be homemakers. They're looking for the same type, like the version of a woman, like how a man looks like. They look for the crazy as enough. It wouldn't work for you.
No, it's not gonna work for nobody. It very,
How does it work for nobody in every relationship?
That's not true.
How they lying? How it works? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's not gonna work.
This is my question.
She's cheating, or if that is happening, listen, she is literally
Lying like what? It's
Lying.
somebody else.
Yeah.
We shouldn't
So this is the thing.
adhere to absolutes, because then we're absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say it doesn't always work. What I'm trying to say is the numbers are not on your side.
Yeah, that's
Now
what
we gotta see the
No, it's on it. Yeah,
What
that's
percentage?
new. The
What
numbers are low right now
percentage?
because there aren't that many women that in high.
No, you done
There
drank
aren't
the
that many women in these high professions, right? That think like this. They are. This is some minority of women that think this way.
Hold on.
But they are on the rise, though. Go ahead.
Most women are not in these top paying jobs. That is a fucking fallacy. Usually,
The average
women
is 40
work
jobs
certain
and
jobs.
43 men.
Now, in education, because we are not stronger than you guys, we're going to have to utilize our mind. We're going to have to work in that type of manner to even be able to compete. We have to, because we cannot compete with you with our hands. So
America is not trash, Valentina Nicoletti La Bambola Beyonda. America is wonderful, and you are a product of America.
I'm a product of America. Tiffany, how's it going, babe?
I can't complain. I gotta go to the dentist, inshallah. Did Muhammad have a dentist?
Hello, well, hold on a minute, Tiffany. We are not here to have a religious debate.
Oh, assalamu alaikum.
me, because I just forgot. I fucking fell asleep in a room.
Bambola, after a long time, I got to hear from you, okay? Bambola, are you a TJ? Are you a transgender? You look like a transgender, right?
He's got fake titties. Of course he's a transgender. It's a woman.
Is she a woman?
Fucking A, she's a woman. She's got titties, nigga. The fuck? Yeah, she's a woman. She got titties, bitch.
She got titties.
Don't make this a religious conversation, nigga.
Does she have big titties?
She's got huge titties.
Oh shit, man. Huge titties.
I could clear it up too, bro. I did take full responsibility for talking. Bro, I did take full responsibility for going to hell with it. However, we both started disrespecting each other, bro.
You disrespect me.
Come on, bro. So don't act like, come on,
Did you not disrespect first? Yes or no?
I said fuck you. You said fuck me.
No.
What are you talking about here, bro?
That's nothing. That's me and you. You can
What the
fuck each other.
Bro,
We can say fuck each other. We can say fuck each other, though.
it all started off with fuck you, bro. You know this shit, bro. That's what it started off with, bro. And I just took full responsibility for going there with you,
So you gotta take becomes
now you're trying to
take becomes after, bro.
I'm
Because
trying to have this private with you, man.
Bro,
Why you
you
interrupting me?
have to take
Why
it,
are you
bro.
interrupting me? I didn't
You have to
interrupt
take
you.
it.
Yeah.
But you literally just interrupted me, bro. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You're right. I did. You're right.
Okay, so let's move forward.
Yeah, you want to know?
No.
Fuck
Either we
this
can have
shit.
this
Y'all can kick this shit.
No. Yay. Either we can have this in a private room. I think this should go.
I literally apologized and took full responsibility for going down there with him. But he couldn't get no trying to unpack
I don't think
nobody.
Amazing. Guy Fawkes. Guy Fawkes.
But if you don't understand that your rhetoric, this ridiculousness going on this morning on stage, is what's causing people to think you would steal an election, and
I mean, after he was shot at on TikTok saying was so missed, the president wouldn't even call an assassination
Is he
attempt.
going in
Like,
and
if you
out?
don't understand this,
He's
then,
going in and
then
out,
you're
but we're
missing
not
the whole.
missing much, don't worry. All he said was, I can't prove the election was stolen, but it probably was.
I said nothing of the sort.
That's not what he said.
That's not even close.
He literally said he doesn't have evidence. Like, he literally said, I don't have evidence.
We'll just put him down there to rethink what he said.
Wait till us. Can he say yes what I actually said? Or is it worthless?
We also heard accusations that Trump was colluding with Russia, and that was pushed by the media. And I think it was in Australia, and it might have been on Al Jazeera News. They talked about the number of times that was peddled in the media. Like, it was 99%, they were taking his daily like amount, 99% of the time it was talked about in our mainstream media on a daily basis. Now, we can talk about who's lying and what you can prove, but there's a lot of funding to go behind that. And not one person, we had the FBI involved, close to $50 million. How much time, how many resources for other things that were legit were taken, and we've seen no repercussions of it, right? So we would talk about what can be proven. We can do that all day long. When our government sets out to want to cover something, you don't think they can? I mean, to say that, and it doesn't even have to be a government, it could be a section of it.
Hold on, Corey. I'm trying to get to the point of, I'm not sure what your point is.
They're asking about the evidence. Where's the evidence? And unless you have if you know
when it comes to the election, yeah, that's
yeah. I mean, it's almost impossible if you're good at what you're doing. And let's be honest, if we don't think that the CIA and there's the intelligence sources that are doing things without us knowing about it, and that we deny it, we're insane.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with elections. So again,
no, but it's the relevance of being able to hide something.
But that's their job, though. That's their job. That's exactly their job.
Thank you, and that's my point.
But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
What Corey's trying to say is he doesn't have any evidence, but there's some circumstantial evidence.
Look, I don't think this room is about. I'm not going to go back to the elections, right? I don't think this room is about that.
I'm not sure what this room is about, but I made you like mod Marvin because you have a deep booming voice and you're reasonable, and so like you can talk over the people better than I can, and make more cogent statements than I can because I'm very tired and I don't speak very cogently when I'm not tired. So. Well, that shut the conversation down.
It sure did.
Hey, go ahead, Marvin.
I think.
And I'm going to say the same shit over and over. Big never knows that things do it. That's
I
right.
the whole video is the dude. Like, shut up.
The fuck?
Please come home now. I got beans and bologna. Not that bang-yang. Not that bang-yang. Oh no, whoa, whoa. Fuck no, not that front of shit. Not that front of shit. Oh no, whoa, whoa. Fuck no.
No, it was
No, I'm looking at it.
I think it was Cotty, right?
No, Miss Carter.
Hey, Ty, can you do a first base competition at one point?
A what?
First base.
Uh-oh.
Like,
See, the thing with that, you know what's going to happen?
it's gonna be hard to get all of them to do that.
I don't think so.
You think they'll be willing to do it? Cause then women will say, "Oh, I don't want to be on the list." Then it's gonna start, whatever.
I thought that's what the sexiest was. I thought y'all was judging women on like who looks naturally, no filters.
I'll say that.
Okay.
Please come home now. I got beans and bologna.
I see you do some numbers. Stop talking in here, nigga.
Hey, give me that. Send that nigga a pizza. Send that nigga a pizza. Send that nigga a pizza.
Go on.
Send that nigga a pizza.
Go on.
Man, I'm starting to really see. I'm starting to hate my own kind in this motherfucker, man. Black folks, nigga. That shit'll make me motherfucker go ahead and just start killing you motherfuckers, man. I don't give a fuck no more now. That shit starting to irk my fucking nerve. You niggas get on this app shit, man, and start tweaking. Niggas just asking you questions. Y'all bitch ass niggas want to take it to some other type of shit. Nigga, don't get killed, nigga. I don't give a fuck either. So don't make it something that it ain't supposed to have been. Fuck around with you bitch ass niggas.
Wow.
Now we see why the Flames got to touch a lot of these Negroes. Now we see why. That is pure hatred. That is hatred. And I was there, so I know what it looks like. I was in that mind frame. I was a genocidist. Like I hear this brother spewing out his mouth. So I know the level of hatred. Only the Flames can temper this kind of hatred or true repentance. True repentance or nuclear flames can quench this type of hate.
I agree. He doesn't have control of himself, which is very dangerous. I will be praying for him. We must be slow to anger. Self-discipline is needed. Definitely needs a mentor.
He just has a demon on him, that's all. That kind of demon that hates his own kind of people, they need to die.
Shalom, family. Wow. I haven't been on here.
Yeah, my fellow Americans, this man needs to learn the art of meditation. First of all communication is hypnosis. So if you're going to come on this motherfucking social audio chit-chat app and let people hypnotize you with all their negativity and toxicity, you are going to become a negative and toxic person. So start reading books on positivity. Start doing logical positivity, obviously. And people are going to be negative, but we've got to be positive, my fellow Americans. God bless you all. Health, wealth, love, peace of mind. I am complete. I hope I was succinct. Tiffany Sotheby is complete.
Brother, you need to channel.
Hypnotize you with all the... Yeah, my fellow Americans, this man needs to learn the art of meditation. First of all communication is hypnosis. So if you're going to come on this motherfucking social audio chit-chat app and let people hypnotize you with all their negativity and toxicity,
toxicity, you are going to become a negative and toxic person. So start reading books on positivity. Start doing logical positivity, obviously. And people are going to be negative, but we've got to be positive, my fellow Americans. God bless you all. Health, wealth, love, peace of mind. I am complete. I hope I was succinct. Tiffany Sotheby is complete.
I just heard that I think he's being introduced by everybody else first. I don't think he'll probably speak until tomorrow, but they did say that he has rewrote his whole speech and is being it's literally going to be about unity and stuff like that. So they said that he has been, which I mean, most people will say he should have gone out, way a long time ago and been less combative. I don't care what the media, is doing. He should have just said, I'm going to focus on this. You guys go ahead and tear me apart. But now finally it took this to get him there. I guess even Melania wanted him to do that while he was in office because she hated everything about it because of the combative nature of it also. Let's hope that that's where these two actually go. And maybe we can get back to some civility in politics, which would be amazing. Like me, I think that I would have loved it if Manchin would have ran as an independent because I think he's I'm not going to say I know everything about his political views and I agree with him at all. But he was the one inside of the battle and the stupid spending bills that were being, thrown out there to say, no, I'm not going to vote with you guys on this. And to be able to stand up against your party like he did almost alone was impressive. And let's be real, it saved us a ton of inflation because if they would have passed the $9 trillion or whatever, that would have been, the 3 or 5 or whatever it was is a drop in the bucket compared to it. So I think I like that Manchin did that. He's not combative. And I would have loved to have seen a guy like him run that's not going to get into the combative nature of politics. But we need more.
So this is interesting. Is it possible that when Biden called Trump yesterday, that they had a moment, we'll call it that, right? And that they both recognize that they are both responsible. I don't know if the word responsible is the right one, but they have the power. Let me put it that way. That they both have the power to direct the tone of America. And if they choose to use that power in an aligned way, that is a more powerful position than using that power to divide America. Something to that tone, right? Is that because I did read also that Trump is rewriting his speech. I didn't hear as to what he was rewriting it for or to. But I'm curious to know how that call went and if that call. Well, again, we'll find out tonight. I don't want to go too far.
Marvin is a TDS TBI.
somebody in the chat said who killed the convo, and this thing happens on stage when reasonable people just are on stage. Tends to get quiet a lot more often. By the way, guys, this is not my room. I didn't start it, so feel free to do whatever you want with it. I'm gonna have to go soon.
I'm on the train, so I'm a little bit iffy. I'm actually pulling into one of the stations right now, so I'll be able to chat more.
To the chat, Marvin, you are low IQ, which I find hilarious. I mean, I can't predict people's IQ just by hearing them speak, but I'm pretty sure, you don't fall under that category, just based on the little I've heard you.
Sorry, he is.
It's kind of funny when people hear, I mean, really, he's said very little, and they're going to try to say he's not got a low IQ. That's almost funny.
I posted an article in the chat about Blue Anon conspiracy theories rising amongst the left, similar type of QAnon stuff coming, and I've definitely noticed it in the last few weeks. I don't know if anyone has any thoughts on that, but I think it's interesting.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, I hear it too. So I'm on the left, and I hear this stuff. So I just think it's daddy. It's hard because I don't really want to listen to the news or read the news anymore because it's just so propaganda-y. That's not a good word. That's the best adjective I could come up with.
MSNBC pulled Morning Joe off the air this morning because they were so concerned about not so much.
Wait, Ken, what? What did they do?
They pulled Morning Joe off the air.
The show?
The show, at least for today. Yeah.
And what did they replace it with?
The ongoing news coverage of the Trump assassination. Okay. That was going on anyway. But they were concerned.
Oh my God, emergency alert.
Particularly about some of the guests that show up on that show, and that they may say something that's inflammatory, and they just so they just pulled it, as kind of like an abundance of caution.
I think it's a good thing, actually, because I like flipping through the stations and listening to them, and I do that just to kind of hear what each side is really saying, so you can find out, okay, then you get to do your homework. I love to go into all sides and then reading, because it tells you which leaning this article is, and you can read a left leaning, a middle, and then a right, so you're getting literally 3 different views, which I love. But when you watch some of these shows, and him and Rachel Maddow, and I forget the other gal, on MSNBC, it's far worse. CNN, I've seen a gradual come around and actually bringing in some opposite, voices from the opposition. MSNBC is not that way, and the combative things that they would say. I mean, Morning Joe was starting to swear. On the Morning morning show or, on his show and kind of losing it and then just saying, I'm sorry, but I'm just very worked up. Well, that's not an excuse for doing that. There's people that might be listening to you in the morning with young children around. Don't act that way. Our journalists, our leaders have to start coming back to the sense of, if you look back 10, 15 years ago, you would have never seen journalists acting the way that they are on TV now. Writing articles as they are. They were a lot more.
Marvin is supposed to be a brain dead alien. He has early dementia.
What I would love to
Let
see
it go. He is fully TBS syndromes. Highly
media be held to a little bit higher accountability, because I was listening to some Australian news and they were literally mocking our news and what's going on here because of how almost childish it was, the combative nature of it, and how and they were making fun of it like two kids fighting at school because, you sat in my chair kind of a thing. And I was like, that is who we are right now,
20 years ago, Joe Scarborough was a conservative Republican congressman. He's changed a lot, and probably a lot because he wasn't married to Mika Brzezinski when they started that show.
Right.
They were both married to other people.
But also times have changed too, right? I'm not convinced that what was originally conservative and Republican is what is conservative and Republican today.
No, but that's true. So he's not. He was a traditional, conservative, but also keep in mind, people forget this. I did not forget. When Trump first announced, they were basically kind of supportive of him at Morning Joe. They would allow Trump to call into the show that they wouldn't allow anybody else to do. Everybody else had to basically, appear on screen. Trump was allowed to call in. They viewed it initially because they didn't probably
Times have not changed. Every Marvin tape is opposite. Invert everything.
Trump
Marvin
had
says
a
you get
long
100
affiliation
shit watch.
with NBC because of The Apprentice. Okay, so they probably viewed it as an extension of entertainment and was good for ratings. Okay, but I would actually argue they actually were very helpful in helping him kind of win the Republican primary that year. This in 2016.
Reagan came out and they asked him why he left the Democratic Party, and he stopped, looked back, and was just like, excuse me, I didn't leave the Democratic Party, they left me. Elon put a meme up, and it was very, very good. And it was like,
Every Marvin opinion is 100%
how
wrong.
in this year, each one moved a
Times
little
have not
further.
changed.
Each
Every
one is
Marvin
left and
tape
right,
just
both
opposite.
pulled, and
Invert
it's the polar
everything
opposite.
alien Marvin
And I don't
says
know
you
if you
get
guys have listened
100%
to
quick watch.
Yuri Bezmenov. He was a KGB defector, and he came to America to start warning. And actually, there was like 4 or 5 of them that actually came over, but they started talking about what was happening. They started talking about the ideological subversion. Is there like everybody thinks that we're into this espionage thing? No, they knew they couldn't beat us in war, so espionage isn't going to get them far. So they started using ideological subversion. They started doing psychological tests on their own people, lying to them. And he talks about they lied to him for a long period of time. Then they presented him with the facts, I don't remember how many years later, to show him, look, we've been lying to you. And they would not believe it. And he says, and we know that and this was back in the 80s, he goes, and we know the CIA has been doing this for at least 20 years.
AKA
And then they ask him eventually through this whole thing, they ask him why. And he goes, because this is the last breath of freedom on the planet. And if it's gone here, we will never get it back. And that was his big movement, is because he saw what
Corey is the result of KGB cultural
what America
subversion.
had was. And it's funny because our media, people don't believe this. And when I was young, I didn't believe it. Like, I fell for all of the stupid things. The get out to vote thing, every vote matters. Yeah, that's right, get out and vote. Well, I dated a gal that was much younger than me. And I was like, do you vote? And just kind of educate. I don't care who you vote for, but did you? She goes, no, I'm not into politics. And so I don't know what I'd be voting for. And as we talked, I was like, so you're saying basically a no vote's better than an uneducated vote? She goes, no, not really. I said, no, that is what you're saying. And it's probably the smartest thing that I've ever heard in election, because we get a lot of people who all of a sudden they really don't know what they think or what they like, but somebody tries to explain it in their breath. And so, okay, yeah, I'll vote that way. We need a lot better educated America. Go to Canada. They know more about our politics, all of them do, than most Americans do. You go anywhere, and it's amazing what they really know about our political system. And look at the way, what's acceptable now wouldn't even been on TV, 20, 25 years ago, but as you slowly push it into the narrative, it becomes the norm. I'll put it in the link, but there's a thing called If I Were the Devil by Paul Harvey. That was from 1965. And when you hear it, you're like, wow, this guy called it from 1965.
Good morning, everyone. It's Cindy. I can certainly second that notion. I lived in Europe for 20 years, and I was out of the political scene here. I wasn't living in the U.S. And yes, the rest of the world seemed to know a whole lot more about American politics than the average Joe that you come across going through a normal day in the life of. It's astounding. It's really pitiful. They need to bring back civics education, and into
The
our
average Joe is
schools.
smarter than your Trish.
It's really pathetic.
Basically, every speaker.
Morning, Cindy.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing today?
Okay, how are you, Anthony?
Basically, every speaker is pathetic, and every opinion is always 100 wrong.
New York Times. Yo, this is great news for Trump. Like, I'm happy to hear it. This is really, really great news. This is pretty darn. Honestly, I didn't think this was going to have legs in the long term, but the optics of it coming off of what happened on Saturday, the momentum that he's going to get from the RNC, all of these things I think are really good things for him. The stars are aligning.
Where's Bryn? I haven't seen him for days. We've been ships passing in the night.
He was on yesterday briefly. I saw him in the wee hours of the morning. I don't know how long he was on. I wasn't on that long either, but in the wee hours of this morning, he was on.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and then an argument started about something that he absolutely wasn't interested in hearing me talking and listening to, and so is that.
It's been heated lately, so I can appreciate or understand that. Yeah.
Really?
It was a particularly dumb conversation.
Okay, so it wasn't a healthy debate; it was a heated debate.
It wasn't even like that heated. It was just like I can't even remember what we were talking about.
I'm here to make fun of you.
Like Kelly was just interrogating people.
Sorry, Corey.
About like what they thought.
Everyone here is in the
like Ukraine. Yeah, like it was. She just asking questions to see what people said.
Do you think she was a bit drunk? Because if you were there, because she was a little bit uncharacteristically. I mean,
I think she was a bit. She was a bit tired, and when she was getting a little bit silly because she was tired.
Okay, well that's what that. But either way, right? I knew her. She was definitely off. That's not. I could tell she was off.
Well, I sure appreciate Kelly, and when she's on, that girl's on. I admire her perspective. I love yours too. Thank you for the convo. Your honor's in.
Oh boy, watch out! I get more and more powerful by the day on this app. Apparently, I'm causing all kinds of havoc in the world. You guys already covered the dismissal of this case?
No, we haven't. I just put it at the top. Well, kind of.
We spoke about it, but I guess the person when the people, she's not here anymore. You could probably tell she was very pro-Trump. I have a lot of questions about how the rationale. We haven't seen a written decision, but supposedly dismissed because the
Everyone's a
appointment was
vacuum of
unconstitutional.
stupidity and
Well,
nothingness.
he's been
You
appointed
change
in
nothing.
another
You have
case.
no power.
There's
All your
special
opinions are
prosecutors in
stupid.
other cases. Okay, every time this objection to a special prosecutor has been raised
Can't wait to get
in
kicked.
other cases, including in the Over Jack Smith case, I believe. Okay, it's been turned down. Hunter Biden's lawyers tried to object to the appointment of a special prosecutor, and they got shut down. Okay, so where does she come off? And it's so obvious. I mean, it's so obvious, by the way, that she was slow walking this thing. She's obviously bending over backwards, fam, to the point where she got overturned by the 11th Circuit on some other Trump stuff, on an unrelated case. And now we also found out that some senior justice, she got the documents case because it's a random assignment, right? So she got it, but she didn't. She could have recused herself, and some senior judges, okay, she's pretty junior, went to her and suggested that she should recuse herself from the case, and she refused. Okay, I mean, and the only people who don't think she's biased are people who just are for Trump no matter what happens. I mean, Bill Barr thought that case should be brought. Bill Barr, his own attorney general, thought he should have been indicted in the document case.
Look. I spent a lot of my life around these documents and these worlds, and it's just beyond comprehension. And more importantly, I've seen what
Here we
happens.
go again with 007.
And that's within.
Freaking
That's on a base. That's within a skiff, right? For it to go to this degree
James Bond.
is just I don't get it. I can't comprehend where the law is drawn.
It's also, so just so anyone who didn't catch what Ken was describing all the way, because I think you're speaking a little bit shorthand, and forgive me if I'm just restating the obvious, but she basically said that the way Jack was appointed was unconstitutional. And the number of special prosecutors that have been appointed in this way, we're talking, I don't know, at least a dozen special prosecutors that have been appointed in the exact same way and have never been questioned. So, I take it back. They have been questioned. And there's actually a precedent in case law on this that suggests that it absolutely was legal. So, people have been saying for a while that I think Cannon is obviously pouring water for Trump and isn't particularly interested in, the law, jurisprudence, fairness, equality under the law, et cetera, et cetera. But, if my side wanted proof, which frankly we didn't, because we just want to see justice carried out, this is the fucking proof. To question whether or not his appointment is constitutional is
My side wants justice, clown.
all this complaints about activist judging. This is so beyond the pale. Think of any special prosecutor. Hunter Biden should be fucking filing every.
Side wants justice.
Well, his attorney,
he should be.
His attorney. He's actually raised the same objection when they got together. No. So now, Aaron, what's going to happen is the Justice Department, they're going to appeal this, right? It's going to go to the 11th Circuit. I think the 11th Circuit will get around to it even before the election, okay? And then the problem's going to be, let's put it this way. If the 11th Circuit reverses her, there's no problem. But if the 11th Circuit doesn't reverse her, now you're going to have different interpretations in different jurisdictions, and then the Supreme Court will take it up, and then probably Trump will be president by then. But I think this is going to get taken up relatively rapidly by the 11th Circuit and probably reversed.
Yeah, I think you're right, but like you're saying, there's sort of the long-term judicial implications where basically a bad ruling further down the judicial chain gets overturned, which is, we can sort of say good order, right? If a judge makes a poor choice or decision and it gets overruled by an appellate court, generally we should be happy with that as a process. The problem here is that, justice delayed is justice denied, and she's effectively denying us justice. I mean, whatever you feel about this case, it should be fair to say that it deserves to be adjudicated and people deserve to know whether he's guilty or not guilty. And instead what's happening is she's like, basically a pulling guard blocking for the running back and is getting every obstacle out of the way that she possibly can in the case that he's most obviously guilty in. Like, this is such a miscarriage of justice. It's absolutely something. I mean, I don't want to hear another fucking word about activist judges on the left from anyone ever again unless they're willing to denounce this, because it is way beyond the pale.
So, Marvin, the larger issue with document cases in general, because you raised a great point, for enlisted people, you can go back through history and realize that enlisted people don't get the kid's glove treatment, not just that Trump sometimes was getting, but other people, including some Democrats, including Hillary Clinton. We treat, or even the General Petraeus, okay? The people who are really senior in power, in some of these, the documents or intelligence cases get treated much more lightly than the average service person would. And I think that's a real problem.
Yeah, and it makes me want to bring together a group of other professionals and bring this more to light, right? Because I spent a lot of my life trying to get my clearance, and it's not an easy thing to do, especially if you're at the TSSCI level or above, right? And keeping a clean record, keeping a clean profile, keeping a clean lifestyle, all these things that are associated with it
Found 007.
is not an easy thing.
Yeah, I mean, just as a basic principle, like, do we think the secrets of the country, especially the highest level ones, and we know that he literally, was exposing the most important ones, should they be protected at all times or not? Like, that is kind of the fundamental question here, like, just getting beyond any kind of partisan or whatever stuff. If someone starts waving around attack plans on a foreign country, regardless of who they are, should that be punishable? Like, to me, this isn't a very hard question to figure out, but it's a very, very important one. I mean, like, please defend it. Anybody. I would love to hear the defense of him, showing attack plans on Iran to people who don't have the clearance to see them, and even just having them in a place that isn't properly secured, right? Like, when Barbara talks about a skiff, like, Mar-a-Lago is not a skiff. It doesn't have a skiff. It's, it was penetrated by a Chinese spy, I believe. Or at least there was someone who was there who potentially was. Like,
well,
you
should be careful there, because Joe Biden's office at the University of Pennsylvania didn't have the skiff either.
Trump was discussing Iran attack plans illegally.
The handling of those documents was also a problem. Now, it wasn't as bad because, like, most importantly, when he realized he had them, he voluntarily gave them back. He didn't send his lawyer. He didn't have a lawyer say to the federal government, I don't know these documents.
Yeah, but that gets to my point. Right? If this was an enlisted person, right, and let's say they accidentally took something home, whatever, okay, they don't get to say, hey, I want to avoid consequences, and they ask for them back, and I immediately give them back. That doesn't seem to work for other people. It just works for senior politicians and senior generals. Okay, sometimes.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah, I think the principle should be we protect our country's secrets, period. Right? Like, I don't think Biden having documents, or there's been a whole slew of other senior officials who have done some version of, like, either sloppiness or they claim sloppiness. I don't like any of it. It is a sub and beyond to a whole other level to when the federal government says, give us the documents back 3 times, and you say you don't have them 3 times, and, like, the first time you're like, I don't have them. Second time you're like, I have some, here they are. And then you send your lawyer to say, that was all of them. And then
I understand
get rated that you had more. Like, I'm just saying you're working on technicalities and acting like I don't agree with the principle that you're laying out, and I do agree with the principle. We should protect our nation's secrets, full stop. It doesn't matter.
No, what I'm saying is that from a layman's person, what Trump did was worse, clearly, because he didn't give them back. But legally,
well, other than the stuff where he tried to actually hide them, that's like a separate crime. But the fact that he just didn't give them back, okay. I don't know if that answers the legal violation, because the law is so strict, as Marvin will tell you, that simply the possession is a problem. And I'm actually questioning, being that almost every ex-president has ended up in this situation, and vice president, including Mike Pence, okay. Reagan, there are documents in the Reagan library that are not supposed to be there, and they know that, okay. So if you go to the Reagan library as a scholar,
Obama too.
Right. Well, I know this for a fact for the Reagan Fund in Simi Valley. They'll tell
He
you,
was just pretending Trump isn't commander-in-chief of the Republic either, crowd.
just raise your hand and we'll take it back from you. Because they know the stuff is there, they don't even know how much of it is there. And, maybe they need to be a little bit more forgiving, quite frankly, that when you're dealing with someone like a president or any kind of someone really senior leadership who probably gets
commander-in-chief of the Republic either, crowd.
Okay, and they're leaving office, to think that they're going to be perfect, particularly because they staff it out, packing the box.
This is a personal deficiency.
Maybe that's too high of a threshold.
Yeah, I mean, I if they were, solo people, I would agree with you, but they have whole staffs, and also that isn't this case, right? Like, I don't know the Reagan ins and outs of this document.
This is a personal deficiency in character and philosophical knowledge in every TDS.
What I do know is that
Adam
Donald Trump was
is a clown.
in communication with
Has low IQ.
what's his name? The guy who's also charged with blank on his name, Walter or something.
AKA LGBTQ, DEI, CIT, BLM,
He's like way lower than that. A body man's like actually a real.
Adam is a clown and has low IQ TDS syndromes, AKA.
Sure. Okay. Let's just go with that. It's sort of immaterial, right? So Walter Nauta, he was in communication with, right? Like, this was not a situation where he could, claim ignorance. Even as a legal defense, it's specious because there's actual communications, right? Like, we've seen where this is in the indictment, right? We've already seen hard proof. So it's not the same thing, right? Because it's knowingly, like, and provably sharing this. It also, when he was with Bob Woodward, the journalist, he was basically talking about how he shouldn't share things that were classified and then shared them, right? Which is exactly what you need legally to demonstrate mens rea, right? State of mind, and so he did that. So we can't just like lump this
Chatterbox of a
with some of these
pathetic
other cases, like
young
the one against Biden or
loser.
the one against Pence, or there's been a bunch of these with senators too, where it's like, oh shit, I found classified documents I'm not supposed to have, which is completely wrong. I don't think it should be allowed at all. But this is actually the willfulness, right? The mens rea piece has been the differentiator
Historical
between
documents.
prosecution and not. In many cases, right? It's a fundamental criminal justice principle.
There's one more thing in some case that you have to highlight, which is not only the returning of the documents upon multiple requests, but the denial and then the movement. Right? There was a conscious denial, and I don't remember the wording specifically, but that's a distinguishing factor that goes above and beyond the holding of classified documents within your possession.
They hit the boxes. Then he hired somebody to basically manipulate the video cameras so that
That's right.
Yeah, also.
Yeah, I mean, and also, just to go back to this case specifically, this rationale, of all the rationale she could have used to dismiss this case, is the most unchanged. Like, I think that this is actually going to be cause to not only, obviously appeal this decision, but, there's been this question of, like, are they basically going to ask for her to be removed? And I think the pattern and practice of her rulings is now abundantly clear, right? Like, she's already been severely chastised by, I forget if it was in the Fifth Circuit who's above her, I forget, maybe over again, for a previous ruling, and I imagine we'll have her
above her, yes.
Oh, it's the 11th, okay, cool. Yeah, so they've already basically said.
Obviously, Trump will be POTUS, and Adam's opinions today will have been a complete waste of all our attention.
To get her, because she clearly is, like, at best, she's incompetent. At worst, she's just completely crooked. And I think it's pretty clear that it's actually both.
And earlier you talked about, kind of everything should be even keel. And that's where my only argument in the whole situation, what you're saying, is that we have someone who had documents from decades back that came from a skiff that he wasn't supposed to have, which means he knowingly took them, not once or twice, but over a long period of time. They can now say, well, his poor memory now, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't
Projecting incompetence and crookedness.
This is where I get frustrated. The law.
Adam,
I think this
such
goes
a
on
loser.
both sides, and a lot of them have it. And we need to investigate it. So let's stop them breaking the law. Let's truly punish these people and stop the problem instead of letting it go on because, everybody does it.
Adam is such a loser.
That's where my only argument comes. We need to do this because we had classified documents about Afghanistan. The notes on security, handwritten notes, in a garage, stuff like this. And that's where I get my frustration is people can call it about whataboutism. No, it's called a standard that's been set. We're not charging one, but we're going to let the other go. Like you said before, Ken said, the Reagan's library's got them. There's all sorts of issues. And this is the problem. This is why Americans as a whole don't trust the system. Because sometimes it seems very selective what they decide to do. And that's why there's an uproar from people about this whole situation with Trump. That's my big argument is it shouldn't be we worry about what his brain or his intentions. Some of those documents were found earlier, not turned in immediately. That's a shirt. It was convenient they were found right after the midterms, I mean, it's the logic to most of us that we're sitting here, come on, this sure is convenient. Those conveniences just don't happen. And I just wish that, honestly, our government actually I wish our system would hold the elected officials to a higher standard like they're supposed to rather than to a lower standard. I mean, let's just take you. If you were to go into a skiff, take documents home, you'd be in a hell of a lot of hot water. But that's the standard that should be for everybody. And the higher you go, the more trouble you should be in because you're willfully.
The only difference with me, and I think it's interesting, is that I don't have any security clearance level because someone like me shouldn't have access to those documents, right? So, it's like all the training that goes along with it, which I think is to your point, right? That if you don't know how to handle them, you should not handle them because the secrets are secret for a reason.
Aram, you're just a low-grade dog hypnotist, Aram. You're a complete moron. Your opinions suck, and you have low IQ. You're an idiot, Aram. You are pathetic. I came up here, thank God.
Nice work, too.
So I just have to ask Aram.
Who fell for that? Who fell MLAJ? Who put him up?
I brought him up.
Tiffany only.
The guy who accused me of participating in the assassination is here. Wow, that was a shocking move.
Me?
I'm against political violence for what it's worth, but you can go fuck yourself, Jay.
No idea what he's talking about. I never. But I see I'm still renting space in your head. Bizarre.
I guess
Continue the conversation.
I guess it wasn't just me.
What just happened, Marvin?
I guess it wasn't just me.
So I want to ask you guys, what do you think should happen to these people who, they're teachers, there's educators, people in the government, people in these positions that are out there saying, you need to shoot better, so close. What standards should we have for anybody, especially anybody in government, that in any way
I guess it wasn't just me.
condone this action? Because in my opinion, I'm going to tell you, when you look at the psychology of it, it tells you that they're willing to accept this to get what they want.
Who's they?
Who's they? Yeah, I was just about to ask.
Anybody that you see the tweets out there. There's people from school boards. There's teachers. It's all over. If you go look, the people are screenshotting these people's posts. They is anybody who makes a comment about, and it doesn't matter what side. anybody that makes a comment like, damn, almost had him. So close. You need to shoot better. Why were your sights off? You know, all those things.
Corey, let me jump in here real quick. Just 2 seconds. So for me, I totally believe that what they did to Donald Trump was a witch hunt. And I'm not a Trump lover or supporter. I didn't vote for the man. But I'll say this. There's been a 2-tier justice system in America since America. It's now that the ringleaders in the spotlight with the 2-tier justice system, now people up in arms. You know, to me it's bullshit, I'm sorry.
Wait, I thought he was talking about the assassination attempt. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So seeing all these tweets about that, you know, because to me especially, I'm an advocate of, I don't give a shit what side you're on politically. When we're allowing elected officials to come out and literally make statements, and this is where I'm coming with this, we're allowing them to make statements and accusations of having something, of demonizing another politician, and we've got this, and he's doing this, and let's just use it, Adam Schiff with Trump, all of those things, and it comes out, you find out they're lies. As elected officials, and this is where I'm going, anybody, if you're employed by our government, paid by our government, anything like that, there should be a standard of decorum. And when that decorum is gone, and you're showing the actual, not just the willingness to circumvent the process that the American people have gone through, which is voting, to try to undermine somebody, those people should be held to a higher standard. So do you think these people that are saying, whether they're a teacher or anybody, and they're saying, damn it, you almost got him. Damn, I wish you would have hit him. So close. Work on your shot. And they're literally in a position of authority, teachers, whomever. Do you think they should lose their job? What are your thoughts on that? Do we just allow it because it's free speech?
No, I mean, I don't think you can like prosecute it. I'm not sure you can prosecute it, but like we should not allow that to be like something that is normalized. Because if we do, then the violence is going to be real, and people are going to think it's okay to then follow through on the words. If there's like, that seems like the inevitable outcome of letting people say those things. But I don't know how you would prosecute it.
Not prosecuting, loss of a job. I mean, just because we have to agree that there was an article a while back that a bunch of people, from police officers to school board members to teachers, I don't remember what newspaper it was in, but they ran a sting in some club, and people were naked and doing what I think is a lifestyle club, whatever. But they came to find out that when those people talked, they were there with their husband or wife, but they lost their job. One worked for the city, one worked for the police, one worked, and they lost their jobs because of morals clauses. But just because you're naked in a private club, you lost your job. But if you're publicly calling and wishing that the president of America was and we can say former, whatever. When they talk about Obama, he's still President Obama, right? So I still give him all that same decorum and say the president. When somebody's working for the U.S. in any capacity, as an educator, anything, you're getting a government check, I think there has to be a standard that says, and this should be through all politics, that says when you cross the line and you start wishing anything harmful on somebody, you're gone. You start pressing lies, you're gone.
Yeah, then what happens?
Can't prosecute.
Corey, what happens to the First Amendment then? What happens?
It's already gone, Jay. That's my point. Those people, because of a morals clause in their contract, they lost their job because they were at a private club they paid to go into. So America is already now saying, well, you were at a private club. That's not a public place. But yet they lost their jobs. Now there's court cases, I think, on it. But to me, we just took away their right of freedom. They just were out. Let's just say let's do Fantasy Fest down in Florida, Key West. All of a sudden, you're out and about in public with body paint on, and you're going to lose your job. That's accountability. But yet, we're not going to do it when you're calling for wishing that the freedom of speech is yours. But when you're in an elected position, you're hired by our government. There's a decorum that's expected. You see teachers that say the wrong thing in the classroom and lose.
listen, Corey, I think you're riding a slippery slope with this one, bro. I'm being honest. I mean, you're gonna fire a teacher because she wished Trump would have gotten hit 2 inches closer to his head. I mean, come on.
They fire teachers for less. They fire teachers for using the wrong pronoun.
It's one thing to wish it. It's another thing to state it publicly. Like, I mean, I do think there's like a case to be made for a morals cause for a teacher. It's just like when it comes to, I'm more concerned about political officials doing it though, because they are in the government, and that's the part that I don't know how, like, what the process would be for them, for politicians losing their jobs for saying stuff like that.
But we already have a great way of deciding that. It's called an election. You can decide whether that crosses the line or not. I just think this is a can of worms you don't want to open up. It's just going to be crazy.
So if you get elected, you've got, freedom to just act as you wish until another election. See, that's the problem, and that's what's happening. That's why these politicians are emboldened. There's zero accountability. When you're a boss of a company, when you're running it, I don't get to just go rush out about whatever I say or whatever I do. I'm held to a higher standard than my employees.
But Corey, let me play devil's advocate here for a second. So, but what I think here in America we got bigger problems than teachers saying they wish Trump would have taken a bullet in the forehead. I think that what about the Supreme Court justices that take trips on billionaires' yachts and planes and stuff like that, and then they're going to adjudicate a case that's related to that billionaire? Isn't that a bigger problem? Shouldn't we be worrying about that than the teacher says, hey, I know what I'm saying, I say this respectfully. To me, it sounds kind of being, this is the problem with the world. We're hypersensitive to everything. But there's corruption in our government, and we don't do anything about that.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, so this is what I'm saying. The standard's already set, Jay. It's out there. The teacher makes a tweet who is black and didn't like black men, lost her job. She's black, lost her job because she made it what they said was a racist comment. So you're going to tell me that wishing someone dead is worse than a teacher saying, well, I like white men, I don't like black men. Well, there's people out there that don't, and there's people out there that don't like white men. But if they say it, they lose their job. But yet we're going to say that someone that works for the U.S. government anyway could publicly say something. Same thing, it was put on Twitter or might have been on Facebook, I don't remember. But that standard's already been set. When you put something out on a public media platform, you could look at, I'll Google it just to see how many different things come up, how many people, they're getting fired all the time for this. But let's be honest, in the facade of saying, oh, we don't want this, you're going to tell me Maxine Waters that day wasn't like, damn, they almost got him? She said she would take him out. I'll take him out tonight. That was her words. Those kind of things should not be allowed. I don't care about freedom of speech anymore. You're an elected official. What do you think the rest of the world is seeing when they see our elected officials acting like children? Because that's what they do.
Do you think, following this logic, like, standard NRA ads that a lot of some candidates use these, they have the opposition candidate with the bullseye on it. Do you think that's an incitement of violence and that candidate, if they're already elected, should be in jail? Or be punished or lose their job? I mean,
you're talking about a private entity doing it. I still think it's wrong, personally, morally, but it's a private entity doing it. They're not a government. They're not employed by our government. They're not getting a check from our government. So they have a different standard. I'm talking about people who are elected to a higher position. And if a judge did it, it doesn't matter. Anybody in the judicial system, in my opinion, you're held to a higher standard. They take ethics, vows of ethics, for ethics, but where are they upheld? They're not. Tell me how wishing somebody were killed after an assassination attempt on a president of the United States of America is worse than a person saying, I don't like black men, and it comes from a black woman, and she lost her job. How is it worse for her to say that than to say, as a public figure, as a teacher, we're just going to use a teacher because I think that's what she was. Hey, I wish they would have killed the man.
school board doesn't have the same standard, how is it not at least equal? It doesn't have to be worse, just how is it not equal from the standard that's already set?
I suppose you can make the argument that an educator isolating a particular racial category loops in like probably colossal amounts of her classes and students at the school, and thusly poorly reflects on her ability to, in a non-biased manner, teach those kids. But I don't think she should have lost her job for something like that either. I mean, I think we should encourage people to expose their bad.
So if a teacher were to get fired for saying my school is full of illegal students, is that worse than saying I wish our president got killed yesterday?
Well, maybe we don't know the whole picture, right? Maybe there was a lot of, there was a precondition or a pre-situation that this was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Basically, what the findings were is that her saying that was considered. I'll read it. Let me read through this, and I'll tell you exactly what they found here. But the fact to me is, teach people all